Hello everyone, my name is Sharakorn Nipatanawong from Bangkok University Multimedia Intelligent Technology. I am third year computer science student at Bangkok University. Today I would like to present about my study. The presentation title is Flight Traffic Visual Analytics during COVID-19. Let's get started with my presentation outline. First, the purpose of this study. I will tell you about what I want to do and going to do in this study. Second, the methodology is about the method that I use on this study, such as collecting data and querying the data. Third is the finding of this study, that I will use Thailand as use case for flight traffic analysis. And I will end with conclusion. The purpose of this study. First is collecting data. In this research, I want to collect the data from two data sources, the flight data API and the COVID data API. The flight data API I use Flight Radar 24 and Aero Data Box. And for the COVID data API, I use CSSE GIS and Data, which stands for Center for System Science and Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. When we are able to reach the data from the data source, we collect the data into our database for the ease of access the data for analysis. Second is analyzing data. The key question of our analysis is how active flight changed during COVID-19. And in this figure, I am showing you a sample of my finding that I use Thailand as use case. As you can see the slope of this graph, the number of international flights is decreasing on COVID-19, and the number of domestic flights is increasing on post-COVID. Third is providing data. All of our correct data and the data in our database is used for provide the data for our web-based visualization system. You can connect to this link I am showing for seeing the data of flight traffic and the COVID situation of your interest country. Now I will talk about methodology. The first method of my study is data collection. Data collection is method that we use to collect the flight traffic data and the COVID infection data of each country. But sadly, I start this research on March, so I visit data from December to March. That is why I want to have two scripts. The first script is the operation that we fetch flight data daily. So I schedule this script once per hour. This script will get list of all airports, and then for each airport, it will request the flight data from Flight Radar 24 API. After that, it will process data validation for removing duplicate data, and for update the flight status in our database. The next script that we use to fetch our missing data, so this script will only run once. The script will get the data from 1st December to 31st March by getting list of our airport, and then request history flight of that airport on current loop date by using Aero Data Box API. The second method is data summarization. Because I collect data into our database more and more, our database is grow very enormous. So I use this method to summarize the data into new table for much faster time of query the data. The script will get past 7 days. On each day, it will categorizing the flight data by using their status. The flight status has 7 status: is depart, arrive, estimate, land, cancel, unknown, and schedule. It will categorize this 7 status into new 3 status is active, cancel, and unknown. After that, I will summarize the flight data by grouping the airport of each flight and store into outer table named flight airport. And it will summarize again, this time use the country of the airport, and then store into our table named flight country. The third method is data selection. This method is for query data for interest country. This script will take an interest country and then it will query the COVID data of that country and store into the map object. The map object has four attributes. First is the number of new COVID cases. Second is the number of domestic flights. The third is number of international departure flights. And the fourth is number of international arrival flights. The map object will initialize empty. So this script will query the domestic flight data and international flight data to store into our map. And then it will pass map to the list of data to return the value. Let's move to the finding of this study. In this study, I used Thailand as a use case for flight traffic analysis. Our analysis is divided into two parts. First is how many flights inside Thailand during the infection of COVID-19. And the second is how many flights outside Thailand had a destination to Thailand during the infection of COVID-19. And the finding is, as you can see in this graph, the light blue line represents a number of domestic flights of Thailand. That is the answer for the first question. And the orange line represents the number of international arrival flights to Thailand. That is the answer for second question. Let's see in-depth data. The number of domestic flights of Thailand is decreasing from 679 to 6 on phase of COVID. And the number of international arrival flights is decreasing from 525 to 8 flights on phase of COVID. However, the number of domestic flights is increasing on post-COVID. Let's see on another view. This time, I used the airport comparison. The date that had maximum international arrival flight is 27 January, so I will take it on the left side. Compare with the date that had minimum international arrival flight is 19 April, so I will take it on the right side. The maximum international arrival flight is 525 incoming flights from 85 airports. The light blue dot indicates the airport that had a destination to Thailand, but it is decreasing to only 8 incoming flights from 6 airports on the minimum international arrival flight. About the conclusion. Even if in this presentation I had only Thailand as a use case, but actually I have the data of all countries in our database. So if you want to see more information about this study, you can go to the website that I given. The data of that site has data providing from this study. The data I provide can use for whom who were interested in COVID situation to answer their hypothesis. And also, it can see the policy of each country for control COVID-19 situation. And this data can also use to determine the relationship between COVID-19 situation and flight traffic data of each country. And that is all my presentation. I hope to see you in Q&A, so I answer your interest question for my study. Thank you for listening.